What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel, the best place for hardworking millennials to learn more about career soft skills. Now, what are soft skills? Soft skills are searched 246,000 times each month on Google, and it's obviously a word that's picking up a lot of steam right now in career development. And so in this video, I'm going to give you the definition for soft skills and also 5 unique characteristics that everyone needs to know for the future. Now, if you haven't done so already, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you can consistently receive updates on videos that are going to help you in developing career soft skills. Also, sign up for my Facebook group, Career Soft Skills, so that you can consistently get updates and connect with those who are also interested in career development and soft skills. Hi, I'm Dr. John Tam, and I have a PhD from the University of Oxford in sociology. I'm passionate about teaching things that help people improve their life and their careers. Specifically, I love helping people with soft skills, and that's why we're doing this video. So without further ado, here's my definition of soft skills and the 5 characteristics that everyone needs to know. Before we define what a soft skill is, let's first define what a skill is. A skill is something that an individual can bring to the table that adds value in helping complete a task. And so when we talk about soft skills, nowadays it's used as a catch-all for all things that involve people, such as personality, values, and social behavior that really help solve a specific problem. Now, when you compare that to its counterpart, hard skills are technical skill sets and knowledge and ability that performs a very specific function. And so having these definitions clear is very important because we don't want to mix up soft skills and hard skills. In the future, I'll be releasing videos specifically comparing hard skills and soft skills, so definitely stay tuned for that. So now let's talk about the first specific characteristic that everyone needs to know about soft skills, and that is they are very difficult to measure. And when we say difficult to measure, it's more like it's qualitative. It's observational. It's difficult to show on a certificate, a degree, a diploma, or any type of paperwork because it's really not what those institutions are designed for. And so it's an ongoing process that a person needs to develop. And there's really no clear recipe on how one can develop amazing soft skills, right? And however, that's not to say you can't develop it, it's just the recipe is not very clear. It involves things like verbal and written communication, it involves things like leadership, it involves things like emotional intelligence and being able to regulate your own emotions and not getting caught up in the moment and going all out of whack. It's also essential to branding, building relationships, and establishing a professional identity so that others can really see you as a solid person to have on their team or to work with. And as a result, it creates a lot of opportunities for advancement. The second characteristic is that you can use soft skills as a form of augmenter or enhancer. And when I say that, what I mean is good manners and the ability to communicate with others and work in a team really amplifies all the solid things that you have in terms of a hard skill. So what I mean by that is when you are working in a team and just say you are working on a project that involves a lot of coding and you are an effective communicator and you're able to take the leadership within your team. What happens as a result is that these soft skills amplify the hard skills and that you're able to perform so much better as a unit, right? At the end of the day, especially with how complicated things are getting in the future, having small units is going to be the norm for a lot of workplaces. And as a result, being able to work in close quarters with a handful of people and execute effectively is going to be such an important soft skill. I love using video game analogies, so bear with me for a second. Think of it kind of like if you have a weapon and it hits 100 points, but then you suddenly have a multiplier, an augmenter that triples the damage. Then of course that's something you want to add to your arsenal. Soft skills are kind of like that. It doesn't matter how good you code, but at the end of the day, if you're able to take that coding and magnify it with your team, with the people around you, soft skills are going to make you a much more effective individual in the workplace. The third characteristic about soft skills is that they are transferable. What that means is you can apply them everywhere. So it's not only limited to the workplace. So for example, if you develop amazing listening skills, you can be an awesome listener at work and you can also be an awesome listener at home. And that really helps me a lot when I work with my wife because I'm extroverted, and by being a good listener, I'm able to negotiate better terms at home. And similarly, if you go out to the workplace, you can also negotiate better terms by being able to listen and find win-win situations. Because the reality is, in the future, a lot of us are going to work about 12 to 15 careers. Gone are the days where you work in one industry and that's it, that's your career. In the future, what's going to happen is that there's going to be so much disruption with AI, robotics, and automation that people are going to use soft skills as transferable skills, because that's what makes us human, that's what makes us irreplaceable. And so I talk about this in depth in the career change mindset videos, and I'll put that in the links above. So definitely check it out if you haven't done so already. One thing that's interesting that Jack Ma talks about when it comes to dealing with AI, robotics, and automation is that people in the future should focus on what makes us human. Because all the rote activities, whether it's physical or intellectual, a lot of these are going to be replaced by automation. And so what people should really focus on then are things that make us human.
Value, believing, independent thinking, teamwork, care for others. These are the soft part. The knowledge may not teach you that. So that's why I think we should teach our kids on sports, the music, the painting, art. So making sure humans should be different from everything we teach should be different from machine. If the machine can do better, you have to think about it.
Such as sports, music, and the arts. And one of the things that I think back of when I was in high school was I was in charge of a soccer team as a 16-year-old, and I played with 14-year-olds to people who are on my team who are like 50. And one of the things that I learned during that time is to negotiate with different ages and also speak different languages and basically signal different ways so that everyone can get on the same page. And so that was actually my introduction to leadership, and it was kind of like throwing myself in the fire, but I survived. And to this day, I'm grateful for that experience because a lot of the things I learned have been applied to the workplace. And so for those of you who have learned important life skills outside of the workplace, leave a comment below and let me know what you've learned. The fourth characteristic about soft skills is that it will improve job satisfaction. So regardless of the type of work that you do, you will inevitably work with people. Good soft skills essentially lead to a more efficient, more harmonious, and more productive workspace. And so these are all qualities that would help in the workplace. The fifth and final characteristic about soft skills is that they can be learned. I know I said earlier in the video that it's not clear how they're learned, but they can be learned. And essentially, it's about maximizing our career prospects. And so soft skills are inherently connected to how we deal with other people. And the thing about how we deal with other people is that we are dealing with different personalities, right? And that's what separates one person from another. Of course, there's other elements, but personality is an essential part of that. And so when we're talking about personalities, it's about gaining the awareness of what type of person you are and what kind of soft skills you need to balance that so that you are more versatile, you're more flexible. So for example, if you're introverted, learning the soft skills on how to speak to people or how to improve communication would be an asset. And if you're an extrovert like me, learning the soft skills of something like listening would be very helpful. And so it's about learning the soft skills on the opposite end of the personality spectrum so that you can equip yourself to become a more versatile individual. And with that self-awareness, you can then pick and choose your battles. So if you're introverted, don't do as many extroverted things, right? Don't find a career that requires you to be an extrovert. Find careers that are more geared towards introverts. It's kind of like if I go play basketball and I'm not exactly tall, I'm 5'7", and I wouldn't really go play with the trees, which are like the really tall people, unless I really love basketball. And I really love basketball, so I do go play with the trees. But that's the thing, right? If I'm going to play with trees, I better be a good shooter. So it's about acquiring the soft skills to navigate the situation that you're going to put yourself in. One of the things that I would highly recommend for you to do is to go take a personality test. So in the links below, I will put a personality test, which is a quick test, which is psychometrically valid. And basically, it'll tell you, based on the Big 5 personality traits, which is the gold standard for measuring personality nowadays, what your personality is like. Also, I'll put in the links below. I'll put a resource for you to read about AI and the future of work and how AI, automation, robotics, how that's going to change everything and why it's so important for all of us to develop soft skills so that we can navigate the future. If you haven't done so already, please join my Facebook group, Career Soft Skills, so that you can receive regular updates and connect with like-minded individuals who are interested in advancing their careers. In my next video, I'm going to give you the 4 major trends that are going to affect soft skills in the workplace in the future. So make sure you click subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can receive an update when it does come out. Also, leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts, and give it a like and share it with people if you found this video valuable. Take care, everybody.